Remember that moment when you saw someone score a goal against your team, and instead of being angry, you found yourself thinking, wow, I wish he played for us. That's exactly what happened to every single Chelsea fan watching an 18-year-old Brazilian kid destroy their defence in the Club World Cup. The kid's name? Estevão Willian. And here's the crazy part. Chelsea already owned him. They'd signed him a year earlier, just waiting for him to turn 18 so he could join. And when he finally arrived at Stamford Bridge, something magical happened. This isn't just another Wonder Kid story. This is the story of how Chelsea might have just pulled off the deal of the century. Welcome back, Blues fans! Before we dive into this incredible story, drop a comment below and tell me where you're watching from. London? Lagos? New York? Sydney? I want to know where my Chelsea family is based. And if this is your first time here, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe, because you don't want to miss what happens next with this kid. Trust me on that one. Let's go back to June 2024. Chelsea announced they'd signed a 17-year-old winger from Palmeiras named Estevão Willian. The total fee? Up to £51.6 million. 34 million euros up front, with another 27 million euros in add-ons. And you know what happened? People laughed. Seriously. Everyone was saying Chelsea were crazy, spending that kind of money on a teenager nobody in Europe had really seen play. Another expensive flop. They said, Chelsea's mad transfer strategy strikes again. The critics moaned. £50 million for a kid. In today's market, that might not seem wild, but for a teenager who'd never played in Europe, people thought Chelsea had lost their minds. But here's where it gets interesting, my friends. Just a few months after joining Chelsea, Estevão's value has already skyrocketed to around £104 million. More than 3 times what they paid for him. That's right, the kid hasn't even completed 1 full season. And he's already worth double what people thought was too much money. And honestly, he could easily become a £200 million player in the next few years. I'm not exaggerating. Chelsea got themselves a future superstar for peanuts. Estevão Willian was born on April 24th, 2007 in Franca, Sao Paulo. Yeah, you read that right. He's only 18 years old. He started his youth career with Cruzeiro in 2017 when he was just 10 years old. But get this, at 10 years old, he signed a professional contract with Nike, making him the youngest Brazilian player ever to sign with the company, surpassing even Rodrigo. At 10, in 2021, Estevão moved to Palmeiras Youth Academy, and that's where the magic really began. He helped Palmeiras' youth teams win everything: the Campeonato Paulista Sub-17, Campeonato Paulista Sub-15, Copa do Brasil Sub-17, and Campeonato Brasileiro Sub-17. The kid was collecting trophies like Pokemon cards. On December 7th, 2023, at just 16 years and 8 months old, he made his professional debut for Palmeiras. And he didn't just make up the numbers. In 83 games for Palmeiras, he scored 27 goals and provided 15 assists. At 16 and 17 years old. Let that sink in. Here's a question for you. How many 18-year-olds do you know who could score 27 goals for one of Brazil's biggest clubs? Drop your answer in the comments. Now, I know what you're thinking. Everyone's a wonder kid these days. What makes this guy special? Well, let me tell you about the comparisons people are making. Former Chelsea legend Willian compared Estevão to Barcelona's Lamine Yamal, saying, without a doubt he has a lot of potential, a lot of quality. The player has the advantage of still being so young, but with great potential like Lamine Yamal, they have a similar style. But it goes deeper than that. Estevão himself has said he dreams of battling with Lamine Yamal for the Ballon d'Or in the future. This kid isn't just confident, he genuinely believes he can match the best young player in world football right now. And you know what? After watching him play, I believe him too. Chelsea's own Joral Hatto said after watching Estevão play against Ajax. Have I seen a teenager like this? Yes, maybe Lamine Yamal, but I cannot name anyone else. He was really good. He is very young, even younger than me. Think about that for a second. Hatto's saying the only teenager he's seen at Estevão's level is Lamine Yamal, the kid who's already won the Euros and is tearing up La Liga and the Champions League for Barcelona. That's the company Estevão is keeping. Former Chelsea midfielder Gus Poyet added, he has potential. He has got everything. I think he can be incredible and top class. Now he needs to do it all the time. Now we are talking about Lamine Yamal. And when you are looking at him, it's every game, doing something. The only real rival Estevão has for the title of best teenager in world football is Lamine Yamal. That's it. That's the list. And Chelsea fans, we've got one of them. Now, here comes the part of the story that gives me goosebumps every single time I think about it. Remember, Chelsea had already signed Estevão in June 2024, but he couldn't join until he turned 18. So he stayed at Palmeiras, and both clubs ended up in the 2025 Club World Cup. And guess who they faced in the quarterfinals? Each other. On July 4th, 2025, Estevão played his final game for Palmeiras against his future club Chelsea. Cole Palmer scored first for the Blues, giving them the lead. But then, Estevão scored an outrageous goal from a near impossible angle to equalise for Palmeiras. At 18 years and 71 days old, he became the FIFA Club World Cup's second youngest scorer. The kid scored against his future employers in one of the biggest games of his life. After the match, Enzo Maresca said, "You can see he is a huge talent. You can see he is a fantastic player. The only thing now is when you come from South America or another part of the world to Europe, you need to adapt. We are going to help him to adapt and, first of all, to enjoy football. We don't have any doubt, as he is so good, that he is going to be an important player for Chelsea." But here's the part that shows you what kind of person Estevão is. After the game, Cole Palmer, Liam Delap, Enzo Fernandez, Reece James, and other Chelsea players invited Estevão to join them for the rest of the tournament. But the teenager politely declined. He wanted to say a proper goodbye to Palmeiras, the club that raised him. That's class, right there. If you were 18 and had a chance to celebrate with your future teammates who just became world champions, would you have gone? Or would you have stayed loyal like Estevão? Let me know in the comments. I'm genuinely curious. On August 5th, 2025, Estevão was finally unveiled as a Chelsea player, signing a contract until June 2033. He chose to keep the number 41 shirt he wore at Palmeiras. And then came his debut. Oh man, his debut! On August 8th, just 3 days after joining, Estevão made his Chelsea debut against Bayer Leverkusen in a pre-season friendly at Stamford Bridge. And after just 18 minutes, he scored. Cole Palmer's shot hit the crossbar, and Estevão was right there to sweep home the rebound with his left foot. The best part? He kissed the Chelsea badge after scoring. 18 years old, first game, and he's already kissing the badge like he's been a Blue his whole life. Chelsea fans absolutely loved it. Estevão epitomised the freshness Chelsea managed to play with, showing no sign of a Club World Cup hangover despite finishing last season just 26 days before this fixture. Maresca said after the game, "He is very young, he needs to play, and for sure, he is going to help. He is a fantastic player." The Stamford Bridge crowd gave him a standing ovation when he was subbed off. On his debut, this kid had won over the Chelsea faithful in 77 minutes. Now, I've been watching Chelsea for a long time, and I'm telling you, there's something special about Estevão that reminds me of the greats we've had. Former Chelsea winger Willian himself made the comparison, talking about Estevão's quality and style. And you can see it. The way Estevão glides past defenders, the quick feet, the creativity. It's got those Willian vibes all over it. But there's also something of Eden Hazard in there too. That confidence, that fearlessness, the way he takes on defenders like he's got nothing to lose. Estevão had more shots on goal than any of his teammates in his debut, including the striker. That's Hazard-level confidence. Former Chelsea striker Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank said he's going to be one of the supporters' favourites. How he touches the ball, how direct he is, his passes. He plays with a lot of guts. He's a great prospect. Think about this for a second. When was the last time Chelsea had a winger who made you jump off your seat every time he touched the ball? Drop your answer below. Breaking records like it's nothing. Let me hit you with some records this kid has already broken. On October 22nd, 2025, Estevão scored his first UEFA Champions League goal from a penalty in a 5-1 victory over Ajax, becoming the youngest Chelsea player to score in the competition, at 18 years and 181 days old. On August 22nd, in his first Premier League start against West Ham United, he provided an assist for Enzo Fernandez in a 5-1 win. He became the youngest ever player to register a Premier League assist for Chelsea. And here's one more for you. On September 4th, 2025, Estevão scored his first international goal for Brazil in a World Cup qualifier against Chile. 18 years old and already scoring for Brazil. The kid collects records like they're going out of style. Now here's what's got Chelsea fans really excited. The partnership with Cole Palmer. In that debut against Bayer Leverkusen, Sky Sports reported, A natural chemistry with starman Cole Palmer was clear to see from kickoff, and it eventually paid dividends when the Brazil international swept home the opener after Palmer's shot bounced back into the penalty area. Off the bar. Chelsea fans went wild on social media. One fan said, "Holy F, Palmer and Estevão are going to be fun to watch this season." Another wrote, "It's a small sample size, but Estevão and Palmer has been everything you'd hope it to be. They are linking up very well despite not sharing a language." Think about that for a second. They don't even speak the same language fluently, but they're already connecting on the pitch like they've played together for years. One fan noted, "Estevão don't even speak English. He's genuinely speaking the language of football with Palmer right now." That's what real talent looks like. That's what world-class players do. They speak the universal language of football. When Cole Palmer was asked recently which young player he expects to join him in the fifth Pro World 11 in future seasons, his answer was obvious: Estevão. Palmer said he hopes the Brazilian hits his ceiling at Stamford Bridge. The scary part? They've only started one competitive game together. Can you imagine what they'll be like when they've played 50 games together? 70? 100? The Premier League won't know what hit it. Here's my final question for you Blues fans. Who's going to score more goals this season? Estevão or Cole Palmer? And which partnership are you more excited about? Palmer and Estevão or Palmer and Nkunku? Drop your predictions in the comments. Here's the thing that keeps blowing my mind. Chelsea are incredibly lucky to have this kid. Think about it. Barcelona have Lamine Yamal. Real Madrid have Endrick and are stacking young Brazilians. PSG are spending billions trying to find the next big thing. And Chelsea? They've got Estevão Willian, arguably the second best teenage player in world football, for £35 million. His current estimated transfer value is between 55.2 million and 92.1 million euros. And that's after just a few months. Some valuations have him at £104 million already. Let me put this in perspective. If Estevão keeps developing at this rate, if he stays healthy, if he continues to improve, we're talking about a future 100 to 200 million pound player easily. Maybe even more. Barcelona paid 105 million euros for Neymar back in 2013. Real Madrid paid over 100 million euros for Eden Hazard. If Estevão reaches his potential, he'll be worth double that. And Chelsea got him for £51 million with add-ons. That's not just good business, that's highway robbery! Estevão has been compared to Lionel Messi and Neymar. He even used to use the nickname Messinho as a homage to Messi, due to similarities in their playing styles. He's been praised for his maturity, his reading of the game, and his decision-making, which are all considered precocious for his age. Jamie Gittins, his Chelsea teammate, said after watching him in that debut, "It was amazing. You've seen the Joga Bonito. He's a great player with so much skill and attributes, so it was great to see him play and score. We see it in training every day. He's been here for a week, and he's already done mad things in training. So to see it today was just one part of him doing it every day."
Mad things in training after 1 week. And Gittins himself is a top talent who came from Borussia Dortmund. The ceiling for this kid is absolutely limitless. He can play on either wing, he can play as a 10, he's got pace, skill, vision, finishing ability, and most importantly, he's got that winner's mentality. He's fearless. Look, I'm not going to sit here and tell you Estevão is going to be the next Messi or the next Neymar. That would be unfair. Pressure on an 18-year-old kid. What I will tell you is this. Chelsea have signed one of the most exciting young players in world football. A kid who's already being mentioned in the same breath as Lamine Yamal. A player who cost £35 million and is already worth 3 times that. A teenager who scored against Chelsea in the Club World Cup and then joined them and kissed the badge on his debut. He's got the talent, he's got the mentality, he's got the confidence, and, most importantly, he's got Cole Palmer beside him to form what could be one of the most devastating partnerships in world football. The Premier League, the Champions League, and every other competition better watch out, because Estevão Willian is here, and he's just getting started. Chelsea fans, we are blessed. We are so incredibly blessed to have this kid. In 5 years, we'll look back at this signing and realise we witnessed Chelsea pull off one of the greatest transfer deals in football history. The £100 million teenage winger that Chelsea got for just £35 million, he might end up being priceless. So what do you think, Blues? Is Estevan going to be the next Chelsea legend? Will he win the Ballon d'Or one day? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe, because trust me, you're going to want to follow this kid's journey. This is just the beginning. Come on, you Blues.